Today we are looking at the most disturbing deaths in Red Dead Redemption games. Some of these deaths are so brutal,
Jesus! Easy, Dutch!
while others are heartbreaking. And one of them is so dark, Rockstar did not even show it to us. Starting in Blackwater 1911, in the mission Great Men Are Not Always Wise, John fights his way through the Blackwater Bank lobby, clears the vault room, and climbs the stairs to find Dutch Vanderlyn. But he is not alone. He's holding a young woman, Muriel Stranton. His partner is holding the bank manager. What follows is not a shootout, it is a conversation. Dutch asks about Abigail, about Jack, and then tells the lawman in the room that whole gang had shared Abigail. In the end, he lets go of Muriel, puts the revolver against her head and fires.
God damn!
Then Dutch escapes. 12 years earlier, at the very end of Chapter 5, the gang unpacked at a new camp in Beaver's Hollow. Uncle rides in with Molly O'Shea, who has been missing for weeks and is completely drunk. She stands in front of everyone and tells them she went to the Pinkertons.
What?
Mr. Milton and Mr. Ross about the bank robbery, and I wanted them to kill you.
Dutch pulls his revolver immediately. Arthur talks him down, calling her a fool who is not worth it. And while Arthur is talking, Susan Grimshaw shoots her in the stomach.
You...
Miss Grimshaw does not even apologize. She tells Arthur that Molly knew the rules. Almost nobody in the camp mourned her, except for two people, Mary Beth and Karen. But the worst part is, Molly was lying. She never went to the Pinkertons. Molly came to America with Dutch. She left a wealthy family in Ireland for him, and by this point of the story, he has stopped speaking to her almost entirely. Molly was a drunk, humiliated woman who wanted the man who ignored her to finally look at her, and the only card she had left was to make herself the villain. Then the camp killed her for a crime she did not commit. Now let's go back to the bank in Blackwater, because Dutch did not leave alone. When he shot Muriel and walked out of that office, he took the bank manager Harmon Weinstein. Muriel was a distraction. Harmon was the shield. And this is where it turns into something Red Dead has never seen before. Harmon is forced into an automobile, one of the first cars in the entire series. During the subsequent pursuit, the car crashes outside of Bear Claw Camp, resulting in Harmon being killed. You can ride up to the wreck and find his body lying beside the burning automobile, still in his work clothes, killed in a crash he was never part of. This is another moment that showed how brutal Dutch Vanderlyn is. In Chapter 5 in Guama, Arthur and Dutch are trying to get Javier back, and the only way through is a cave system. Neither of them knows. So Dutch hires an old lady named Gloria, and he pays her with the last gold bar the gang has left from Zandini bank robbery. At the end of the journey, Gloria makes the worst mistake in her entire life. She demands more money. Dutch refuses, and she pulls a knife on him. Dutch takes the knife off her and strangles her to death, while Arthur stands there and watches.
Hey now!
Dutch? What are you doing? Jesus! Easy, Dutch! What was that?
Horrible old crone.
But you killed her.
She was gonna betray us, Arthur. Couldn't you tell?
And the worst part is, neither man goes back for the gold bar. It stays in that tunnel forever. In the church in Blackwater, John meets a pregnant woman called Clara. Her story is heartbreaking. She was a nanny for a family in town. The father charmed her, got her pregnant, and threw her out onto the street. Now, she's got nothing, and she's terrified they will take her baby. So John goes and finds the man. His name is Harold Thornton. And Harold has no idea what's John talking about. He says he's never heard of any Clara. He's thinking he's been blackmailed by a common criminal, and he's offended enough to call John outside.
You think you can blackmail me and insult me over this piffle? You, outside, no!
Harold Thornton doesn't stand a chance. John loots $200 of his body, takes it back to the church.
You are very kind. I must go to his grave. Hurry, I could I can make it to his funeral.
Days later, you can visit the cemetery and meet Harold's widow, and she mentions somebody told her that Clara was laughing at the funeral.
I heard that dog trollop Clara laughing at the funeral.
And the Thorntons never had children. There was no nanny. The whole story was made up. Clara wanted Harold robbed and dead, and she needed somebody stupid enough to do it for her, and that was us. John did not defend a wronged woman that day. He murdered an innocent man and handed the money to the person who set it up. Osman Grove looks like a normal little chicken farm. Quiet, peaceful, except for one detail. There's smoke leaking out of the house from the cracks around the door. Once you go inside, there's an entire family. A mother collapsed on the floor, a father slumped over his food, an old man dangling from the attic, and a grandmother resting in her chair. Also, a little boy killed over his rocking horse. Not one of them has a single injury. They just stopped. When we look around, the culprit is right there. The stove's exhaust pipe appears to have broken, spewing poisonous gases into the house. So we can decide the smoke inhalation must be what got the family. It's time for the most heartbreaking death. In Chapter 4, the St. Denis bank robbery. The job Dutch believed would be the last one. However, something went wrong. While the gang is robbing the bank, Agent Milton walks out into the street holding Hosea at gunpoint. After a small conversation, he pushes Hosea forward, and as the old man turns around, shoots him in the chest.
Come on! No! God damn it!
There's your deal, Dutch.
Hosea.
Things did not end there. The gang breaks out through the roof while Pinkerton's firing from every angle. And somewhere on that rooftop, Lenny is shot by two gunmen. Everyone runs past his body. Nobody stops. This is the only death of a gang member in the entire game that is not a cutscene. Rockstar makes you watch it happen and gives you no way to change it. Next up, we move on to Roanoke Valley, northwest of Annesburg. There's a small cabin that looks completely normal until you look at the roof. There's a hole punched clean through it, and it's still smoking. When you go inside, there's a family, or what's left of one. They were sitting down to eat when a meteorite came through the ceiling and killed every single one of them where they sat. There are limbs scattered across the floor. It doesn't take a genius to work out what happened here, and that's what makes it so grim. Just a family having a dinner on the wrong night. In Red Dead Redemption 1 at Casa Madrugada, I hope the pronunciation is correct, John finds a man named Mario Alcalde knocking a woman behind the building.
Hey, Migo, give it a rest. Enough.
There, you happy now?
You're low, brother.
And John does something genuinely decent. He pays $200 of his own money for her freedom. Her name is Eva. She is deeply religious, and she tells John she's going to the sisters at Las Hermanas.
I will go to Las Hermanas. The sisters there will help me.
Days later, John goes to check on her. The sister says a man came for her and they left.
I was looking for a girl by the name of Eva, I think. Wanted to see if she was doing okay.
Oh, she came and she went. A man came for her. I think they said they were going to El Sepulcro. But who knows?
And when John gets there, Mario is standing with a shovel digging. Eva is already in the hole. When John asks him about it, Mario says he never killed her.
Why'd you kill her?
I didn't kill her. I wouldn't do a thing like that. Sure, I hit her, but...
And why are you digging her up?
John duels him, kills him, loads $200 straight back of his corpse, and none of it means a thing. The money we spent is back in our pockets. The man's dead and Ava is still in the ground. Upon your travels across the heartlands, you may come across a shack known as Hanny's Battle. You can find a skull outside that certainly brings up questions, but once you head inside, it's impossible to ignore that something is very wrong about this place. Inside, we can see many dead bodies in their skeletal state. They have been here for a long time, and there are also no signs that these people's death were violent. They just appear to have died in their beds. Poison, perhaps? A mysterious note gives us a better idea as to what is going on here. It appears as if these people killed themselves in order for their spirits to be freed onto an alien spacecraft and taken away to paradise. North of Valentine, near Window Rock, there's a tiny cabin called Dobbs Bluff. Once you go inside, on the floor lies a corpse near a gold nugget. Also, there's another corpse as well. It appears as if these two were prospectors. One fought with a crowbar and the other fought with a hammer. Not the easiest weapon to kill someone in a fight. I guess we could argue that what happened in this place is a sad story. Two prospectors so obsessed with their gold, even their friendship doesn't matter. Beryl's dream is a small abandoned mine near Strawberry. It looks like a dead end. The tunnel is caved in almost immediately, but at the camp near the entrance, someone left a dynamite detonator already wired, almost like an invitation. So we push the plunger. The blast opens a gap, and deep inside, in a cramped chamber, we find him, a dead miner. By his hand, a gold nugget, and in his back, a knife. There's no blood on his shirt, not even dried blood around the blade, which suggests the knife may have been put there after he was already dead. He wasn't robbed either. He's still holding gold. We exactly don't know what really happened to this poor man. From what we see, we can decide maybe someone has killed him for the gold. Except somebody later rigged the debris to blow and then just left. My question is, who wanted this body found? We'll never know. The mine keeps that secret. High in the snowy peaks, in the coldest corners of the entire map, there's a makeshift shelter, and under it, two people, a couple frozen solid, still holding onto each other, preserved perfectly by the cold, exactly as they were in their last moments, but dead, huddled together trying to keep each other warm. These weren't outlaws hiding from the law. They were explorers, maybe settlers, who knows. Two people who went up a mountain together to see something beautiful, took a wrong turn and got caught out when the weather closed in. The one small mercy is that neither of them died alone. Just east of Armadillo, you will find a corpse marker on your map. When you get there, you'll find a tent that the weather has clearly got the better of it, and beside it, a man curled up on the ground with a Chinese skull cap lying next to him. If you look carefully, we cannot find any wound that actually killed him, so we can assume that dehydration and starvation is what killed him. His name is Zhou Yi. I hope that's the correct pronunciation. It's the letter in his pocket that finishes you off. It's from his uncle back in China. Zhou Yi has crossed the entire world for one reason, to find his cousin, a young man who ran off to America chasing a woman his family disapproved of. And here's the part most players never connect. That cousin is real. You can meet him in Red Dead Redemption 1 in Mexico. A Chinese worker trapped in a slaughterhouse in conditions barely above slavery, telling that his beloved is waiting for him. So Zhou Yi crossed an entire ocean and half a continent looking for him. He got close, and then he died alone in the desert. Neither of them ever found the other, and nobody ever wrote home to tell the family what happened. If you go a little north of Moonstone Pond in the East Grizzlies, and you can see it, an enormous human face carved into the side of the mountain. If you go up there, which is not that easy, on a wooden platform right in front of the carving, there's a body hanging. You got to shoot him down to get at what he's carrying. What he's carrying is a note. He apologizes to whoever finds him. He says he gave his life to his art, to building a monument to the woman he loved. his line is the one that stick with me. Great art moves very slowly, but the heart moves very quick. While he was up here carving her face into the mountain, one detail at a time, she left him for a painter. So he finishes the carving anyway, every last detail of the face that no longer belonged to him, and then he ended his life in front of it. Lenora View is a cabin north out of Strawberry. You can't even go inside, but there are parcels and flowers piled up on the doorstep, and a note is from a man called Jim. He's going to collect his wife from her mother's house, and he'll be back in a few days. Now right back south towards Strawberry, because Jim Payton is lying dead in the road. His wagon crashed, and that was that. On his body, you will find a photograph of his bride. Next to him, a lockbox with their marriage certificate inside. James Payton and Mildred married in West Elizabeth, May 1899. And later in the game, another letter turns up from Mildred. She has sent telegram after telegram to Strawberry and heard nothing back. She says every time she looks at her bags packed by the front door, she starts crying. She is out there somewhere off the map, waiting for a man who's already in the ground, believing he changed his mind about her. Northwest of Valentine, there's a tiny shack called Clausen's Rest. When you break open the lock, you will find two small beds, and in them, two young boys. No injuries on either of them. The letter in the nightstand explains it. It's from their mother. Men had robbed the family, and she'd gone after them to get the money back. So she locked the door to keep her boys safe while she was gone. But unfortunately, she never came back. Those boys, they did not open the door for anybody else. They waited after the food ran out. So tell me in the comments which one of those NPCs had the saddest stories. Also, if you want to watch my worst deaths from Red Dead Redemption series, it's right there on your screen. Please go watch it.